Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in a different kind of car, very much a road car, not a race car. We're taking on the Tokyo 600. It is Nissan Silvia Q. If it's the S13 from 1988. You'd be more than interested to see the setup. This is unfortunately a level 50 car unless you've managed to pick up an engine swap ticket and got yourself the LS7 BRZ engine. This car actually sits with the best part of 1,000 brake horsepower if you want it to fit the 600 pp. We're on sports hard tyres with a fully customizable suspension. Everything set is default, nothing's changed. Fully customizable diff set to 555, the magic 555. Downforce on the front is 126, bang smack in the middle, and the rear is everything at 300. ECU fully customizable 700. ECU fully customizable at 70%. We've got 113 kg of ballast. For you guys that are working in pounds, that's going to best part of 226 and a little bit more. Ballast is all the way to the front and the power restrictor set to 70. So what you need to do then, folks, if you're working in the US or Australia where you're going to use pounds rather than kilos, set everything else, then come to the ballast and change the weight of the ballast to meet the 599.96. It'll be the easiest way for you to do the conversion. Or times the kilos by 2.2, and that will give you your weight. Transmission manual set to 400, that gives you a 10 pp saving, and that 400 is just stretched. There's no adjustment made on the gears, I don't believe, but there they are just in case you want to copy them. We have got a normal turbocharger, nothing else added other than the racing pads and brakes, brake controller which we can mess with through the race. We have got a normal prop shaft, we've got the weight reduction 1, 2, 3 and the basic increased body rigidity. Let's go down to the shop. So in GT Auto, the thing you'll want to know about is wheels. We are using, in this case, the Primarliy Ultimate. It's Primarliy 57 Ultimate, and we have them actually as 18s, all the tyre, set to wide. And if you go to the Rays, you'll actually see there's a whole range of them, the 57, so you can pick whatever colour you like. You're not beholden to that. So custom parts on the front, type B. On the side, type B. On the rear, type B. It's very unusual for us to add that, but it gives us that extra bit of downforce. And the rear wing, of course, is the high level type 20 end plates. Nothing on the roll cage we did. We went for the type C on the roll cage. And a front grille, you have a choice. And we've gone for the vented rather than the slotted. It's up to you what you go with. So here we are at the track. It's the usual favourite 12 laps. Assists are going to be traction control 1, default ABS because it's a road car, counter steer assistance on strong, controller settings as always now, force feedback max torque 7, force feedback sensitivity on 10. We're on a Fanatec BD Plus with the GT Extreme wheel, and that's about where we are, folks. We've got a relatively decent car, 507 brake horsepower. We're inside the target. We're going to try and get that clean race bonus. So here we go. As always, We start the race in last place. We slide into the draft of Mr. Gentry. He's going to move over. We're going to try and make our way down the inside here, avoiding any altercation with the AI or any of the walls. We want to try and preserve that opportunity for a clean race bonus as much as we can. Going to brake just before the 200 as we break through the 190-mile-an-hour barrier. Third down to second. We get it in. There's a bit of a slide as the Porsche Plazan comes in aggressively behind us. Mr. Miazano behind him, looking keen to be on it. Really don't know where we are going to be with lap times in this. It's going to be hyper quick, I think. An engine swap, so it's going to be keen as mustard, isn't it? Oh, twitchy back end. We're just going to have to back out of it there just to hold on to it. Give the guys in front a bit of room. Mr. Hizal just holding up Mr. Suswillow by the looks of it. Oh, too much slide. Had to come off the brakes. That was aggressive and unnecessary. That could be the end of the clean race bonus already. A lot of power in this car. I did question whether the 18-inch wheel was going to be too much for it. I like to have a bit more rubber. I also need to let you know this was the base setup came from Mr. Ridley again. He's been working very hard. He sent me a number of setups over the weekend, and every single one of them is on point. Some needed just a little bit of a tune from me to make it work better for my style. We're in 5th place, 6 seconds behind the leader coming at the end of lap 1. I have a feeling that the clean race bonus is already gone because of that incident with Mr. Suswillow. 192 as we come out of the tunnel. This is going to be 200-mile-an-hour plus car. We have to brake well before the 200. Get it into the corner. Mr. Suswillow is certainly back down the field, isn't he? In 6th place. As we're now chasing Cookabun. Mr. Suswillow will come through them, 100% sure of it. A very fast, capable car. Mr. Gallo has the fastest lap. Oh, as we just almost clipped that wall, we just kept it off there. Sports hard tyres just starting to show a little bit of wear as we navigate ourselves around. As we're 2 laps in, let me be 100% honest with you. Not the most satisfying of driving cars, this, but when you get those Nissan Silvia races, they're called the Silvia sisters. This has got to be the setup or the tune that you're going to start the attempt with. There's lots of ways you can get the power down. So much wheel spin. Now, when Mr. Ridley gave me this tune, he actually said put softs on the rear, and I found it just too much for the softs. We had to have the ability to reduce the power, to take the power away from that rear axle. It just spin up all the time. It was just too much for it, for me and the way I drive anyway. So I've made some significant adjustments for from the original setup I was given. But that's no detriment, because primarily Mr. Ridley is a controller driver who's progressed onto wheel, and he will drive differently to me. And I'm, as you guys know if you followed the channel for a long time, you'll know I struggle with GT7 and how it handles, and have struggled with 1.49 150, because it doesn't feel real for me as a real car driver. And it's more about, you know, making these cars handle really, really well. And I don't think this car handles majorly well because of the amount of power it's got. And it's not like the RX-7 in front that has got a racing pedigree. The Nissan Silvias are genuinely family vehicles. They are not two-seater sports car with the ability to handle this level of power and racing prowess. It's just not in its heritage. So Mr. Cookerman, the car in front there, has a 2:10.018 fastest lap. I'm 100% sure he's just about to improve on that. We've already done a 2:10.751. What's he going to run through the line at? He doesn't. We don't improve it, but we're only just outside his 2:10.077. So this car shouldn't be far away from a 9. Definitely not far away from a 9. We're just braking 200 as he closes in on us. We're going to brake on the 225 just after the puddles. Doesn't come in aggressively like Blazan did. Notice we're catching Gallo. I'm going to try and bring Cookerbun with me. See if we can have a good race with Cookerbun. He's a quick car. He sets a good fast lap, does Cookerbun. Acceleration out of the final chicane is where he makes up ground. We're going to drive this long. We're going to do a one stop. We're going to make this go as far as we can. If we can beat that 2:10.077. We're a lap behind where Gallo's going to go to the pits. He's going to pit at the end of 5. Ooh, look at that time. Faster than where we are. It looks like we're going to do a 2:09, but it didn't tell us we would go purple, which is interesting. So Gallo doesn't set a new time. We do a 2:09.343, fastest lap of the race. Gallo's just pulled away from us there because we do struggle with the acceleration, and that's majorly because of the 555, because we're using the 555 to really take the pain out of that rear axle. Loses so much speed coming down the straight. Still having to brake at the 225. Now, something I've never said about the 555. The 5.5 works in principle because it really does take power out of the braking and the acceleration. But really the first thing you should do when you're coming to set a rear diff, if you don't want to do 555, is just half the original numbers. So if it comes 10, 20, 30, You want to do 5, 10, 15. And if that's not good enough to take the power out and to make the car drivable on the exit of corners, do the 555. Mr. Gallo just slightly held us up coming in there. But he's going to be quicker out of there, I think. He's going to the pits this lap. We're going to see if we can slingshot him. Brakes way later than we do. Slightly down because Gallo held us up halfway through the lap. There's no issue. A 209.5 is going to be pretty good for where we are. Can't get any draft off him. He's too far in the lead, but we're going to keep rolling on. There's your 209.5. 6 seconds ahead of Cookabun. 3 laps remaining, which will take us to lap 9. We should be again the same lap that Gallo pits on. This could be could potentially be a real quick car. Oh, we just hit the wall there. That was me thinking about things rather than thinking about braking. As I said at the start, got me excuses in early. The handling is not fabulous. If anybody has some thoughts and ideas on how to make this thing turn and grip better, apart from better tyres, it needs these tyres. Maybe sports mediums and add a bit more weight. Again, wanted to come around then under braking. I think we haven't done. Maybe we could give it a little bit of brake force to the front, maybe. That might assist us. Sort shift didn't really help the car out there, did it? And that was purple that time. That was going to be a 209.2, but I think we're going to scrub that because of that massive tail slide. 209.4. Let's see where we go with this extra brake balance. A potential fastest lap, 208.346. Puts it up there with the fastest road cars, definitely. Braking just after those puddles. You know when a car works around this circuit because it grips on these two corners, and it takes power around those two corners as well. "12 seconds in the lead. Everybody's going to start to go to the pits this lap. Purple by over a second. Overconfident because we're trying to push that time. Braking on the 200. Trying to get the car down into the corner. Push, push, push. 17 seconds in the lead ahead of Cookabun. Who's going to go long beyond lap 7? 2:08.346. So we need to think about fuel. This is our last lap. This is going to be the end lap. Cookabun's gone in. He's on 18%, so very similar fuel level to us. Gallows back into second place. Where's Suswillow? He's still in 8th. He's going to come through, I would suggest, and pick up a couple of places. There he is. Pushing on. Looking to the pits. Car is extremely light. It's braking much better. It's also sliding. Right, we're in to take 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 laps. 4 laps of fuel we need, so 4.2. We're not changing tyres. 4.2 laps. We're 40 seconds ahead of Gallo. I think Gallo's going to go one more lap, isn't he? He needs to go to 9. A little bit more. The little refuel indicator was on point, I believe. See, thought I could see headlights behind me, but no. When Gallo comes across that line, that time will change, I would have thought. Down to 19 seconds. Caught a little bit. So without me being overconfident, victory here is pretty much assured. We've done what we need to do. We've scootled through the pack, haven't we? Gallo's about to pit again. And then we're really looking back to Cookabun to see what the gap is to him. Going to be in the 20-second region, one would expect. We're now looking to use the next 2 laps to catch and pass some back markers, which is the next real indicator of how fast this car actually is. We haven't put new tyres on, but we're at a point of knowing, well, whether again we can get down into those 208s. Fuel is light. The track is drying slightly. It's going to increase wear on the tyres. So Gallo's going to pit probably just as we're going round the final corner. We've got 2 laps to see if we can catch Gentry, who was the first car we overtook when we went across the line. So we're leading Gallo. He's 18.6 seconds behind us. Cookabun's in 3rd, Suswillow 4th, Yamanaka 5th, Izal 6th, Fraga 7th, Solace in 8th. The out lap was a 2:15. In lap with pits is a 2:26, which is no sprightly lap, to be honest. No slouch. Gallo goes to the pits just before we made the turn into the corner. It's 26 seconds back to Cookabun. Last couple of races recently, I've always threatened with making the car catch the lapped vehicles, but it's never happened, and I get a funny feeling we're going to be sort of about the same today. It's there in front of us, but whether it's actually going to happen, that's a different matter. So lap time of 2:08 puts it somewhere around, you know, the engine swap GTR sort of level, which is pretty good, especially when the GTR's got sort of supercar performance. This little family go-getter is somewhat down on that class, but it certainly makes something of it with this engine swap. "31 seconds ahead." Where is he? We've still got 2 laps. We've still got loads of opportunity to make here. Through the line, 31 seconds back to Cookabun. Swillow's made his way up to 3rd. He had a rather slow start to the race. We're going to brake just after the water on the left. There we go. Still got my foot on the brake, just trail braking in. Car into that corner, power down, just a fraction outside the purple zone. We're going for it. There's Mr. Gentry now. And we've still got a lap to go. We're half a second down on fastest lap time. Is he going to give the blue flags an understanding? He is. Now we're chasing down the next car. Just going into the corner. So this puts it in the next class up. But as we say, it's a level 50 car. You need that engine swap to be assured the ability to take the engine swap. So that's there for the level 50 guys, unless you're lucky enough to get the LS7 BRZ engine. But I don't know whether this would be your first thought to put the engine into this car. Still chasing down the next car, 198, 199, 200. Who is the red car? Is it the F-type? I think it is. I didn't quite want to get into the corner then. But look at that, we're 3/4 of a second up on the purple time. So Connor Moss, is he going to give it up? We're going to go around the outside. We are. If we can put a 2:07 in. We're still up by a second. Fuel level is really low. Just fishtailing the back end. Beautiful. The lower fuel makes this the opportunity. Brake on the 200. There we go, charging through to the line. So we've overtaken 2 back markers and we've got a 40-second lead on Cookabun. We're trying to set a new fastest lap on the final lap of the race. We've got plenty of fuel. We go through the line, and I didn't look, but we'll see if we hit a 2:07. It's a decent car, that. Decent car. It's come at a time when we were just finding some pleasure with some Lamborghinis. And we're going to revert back to the Lamborghinis very soon. So if you haven't seen those videos, do take to check them out. And let's go take a look at the results. So a sub 26:30. That's a very quick car. We don't get the fastest lap. It goes to Mr. Gallo on lap 11, a 2:08.335. He stole that from us. We didn't make the 2:07 at the end. Oh, cheated. There's Mr. Connor Moss and Mr. Gentry down by 1 lap. Didn't see that Gallo had beaten that. That's a shocker. And no clean race bonus either. So that was taken away from us by that little clatter at the start. There you have it. On our way towards 80 million. Hope you're enjoying the grind. There we have it, folks. A great little car. Something that's been in the game a fairly long time. And it's something you'll get to use more often than not when it comes to the Silver Sister races. So, thank you very much, folks. We'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.